guys. So for today's training, I'm going to go back to a mindset training exercise that I really enjoy. And basically, in the next, I would say 10 minutes, I'm going to show you exactly why you not having finished, published, marketed, launched, etc., your book is unequivocally about fear. I occasionally have clients say, but I'm not afraid of anything. Like, really, Liz, I'm not afraid of anything. I know people aren't going to like it, and I know I'm going to get a couple of one-star reviews, and I know that, and they say all that, and they're like, I swear I'm not, that's not my issue. I need you to figure out what my issue is, but that's not my issue. And I gotta go with it because they're real committed, but it is their issue. And here's how I'm gonna prove it with one question. Are you ready? Okay. What if, I know every amazing question starts with what if or imagine, right? Okay. I'm just trying to keep you in suspense. What if you knew? What if I had a crystal ball, or you had a crystal ball, or something? I don't know. But what if you knew that your book was going to be incredibly well received, was going to better other people's lives, either by giving them direction or wisdom or the feeling and the knowledge that they're not alone? By the way, that is a solution to a problem. Yes, people want actual solutions, but sometimes, more often than not, it's knowing that they're not alone in what they're feeling and how they're feeling it. What if you knew that your book was going to sell, I'm throwing out a number, 1,000 copies? What if you knew your book were going to generate, on average, $1,000 of, we'll call it passive income per month? Because there's really, I believe in passive income. I do believe in it. But if you just ignore the product altogether, the passive income will reflect that. So you could make $500 a month or $300 a month in completely, truly passive income where you do nothing, like you don't even think about it and it just shows up. Or you could put a little effort into it, not 40 hours a week, but a little effort into it and see that number at least double. We see that all the time in, and I hate to bring this up, but MLM businesses, you know, whether it's Rodan and Fields or whatever the nutrition MLM is of the moment, the people who are way up here are benefiting even if their people down here, even if they don't do a lot, as long as their people down here are. But if they put a little effort into their team, and you see it with the top, you know, Beachbody, and I'm getting off on a tangent, but you see it. So I'm just using that as an example. So back to my question. What if you knew unequivocally that 9 out of every 10 people who read your book was going to love it? And they were going to email you, or they were going to post on social media and tag you and say, Joanne is my hero for writing this. Thank goodness James wrote this. I never thought I'd find someone like Becky, right? Michaela has completely changed my world. I've read every book out there. Nothing was working. And then I read Michaela's, right? I could go on and on and on. Last summer, my fiction work of the year, really, that I was recommending highly was it's called Pretty Much Screwed. It's by Jenna McCarthy. I just frankly loved it. This coming summer, it's going to be The Unscripted Life of Lizzie Dillinger. Like, what if you knew that people would say, I went on this beach trip with my girlfriends or my family, and I just could not wait every day to sink into my beach chair on the sand and open up The Unscripted Life of Lizzie Dillinger, and now I'm done with it, and I've got to know what happened next, because that was my life. What if you knew that? If you knew that, would you write today? Because I'm pretty sure you would. I would. Like, if you knew that the only thing keeping you from that reality, whatever that reality is, and it's the exact same reality that I had you describe in detail in the What Is Your Why, and this is one of the main reasons why I had you do that, if you knew that the only thing preventing that from coming to fruition was you not moving toward it one step every single day, either by writing or once that's done, by taking the next step. It's just a step at a time. Wouldn't you be taking a step every damn day? Pardon my French. I'm pretty sure you would, because we all would. So what keeps us from taking those steps is fear that we're not going to get where we intend to go, that it's not going to look the way we hope it's going to look, and that we're wasting time on this venture when we should, one of my 5 least favorite words in the English language, be spending time on something more responsible and something like more likely to be successful or productive. So when my kids were really little and they didn't want to do something, right? They didn't want to go into class, or they were nervous about giving a presentation. My advice to them was always, this is not original, by the way, someone gave this to me many years ago, act as if, or pretend. So since we're all writers here, I think we can pretend just fine. Pretend that that's what's going to happen. Put yourself in that space where that's the energy with which you're creating. You know why? Because here's the worst thing that can happen, and likely will, if you don't put yourself in that space. And this is getting onto the marketing side. But here's the thing. Once your book is done, and it will be, and once it's published, and it will be, it's going to come time to launch it. And there is a very fine line between you going out onto your front step and being like, I am God's gift to everyone who has ever suffered this challenge, or I am God's gift to everyone who wants a great story to read right now. And that's on one side. I don't want anybody on that side. None of you is going to be on that side. And by the way, for the record, none is technically a contraction of no one. So when I say no one is, I'm actually speaking grammatically correctly. But this is another example of when you just want to say no one, that you would just say what sounds right, because you don't want to stop everybody by going, wait, what? Which is what normally happens. So just in case anyone caught that and is like, Liz isn't speaking grammatically correctly. I am. That's one side. That's not a side that any of you will be on. I know that because in all my years doing this, nearly everyone I work with, including myself, has a really hard time having the mindset of, I have something that can help you. Like, we feel uncomfortable doing that, but you can't. So you have to find the balance. Your book isn't for everyone. My books aren't for everyone. But for the people who are going to write you, for the people who are going to social media post, for the people who are all of that, who will be so glad to have found out about you, to have learned of your book, to have become long-term fans of yours, for them, you can't be like, oh no, I'm not that good. Like, again, you don't want to be on the other side of that. Like, yeah, I know I'm amazing. I'm a genius. But the point is, you have to believe in yourself. You have to put that energy out there where you're gracious and you're thankful and you're grateful and you're humble, but you knew all along. That's what you have to remind yourself is, I knew it all along. And when I published my very first book, which now it's called Holy Shit, I'm Having Twins, but back then it was called Ready or Not, Here We Come. Nobody wanted to publish it. This was so far before, I've told this story before, but this was so far before self-publishing was a thing, and nobody in New York wanted a piece of it, and it was just like ridiculous, and because they didn't think my market was big enough. And so but I didn't have any big, massive goals for it other than to say I did it, because I just was like I was a writer and have always been a writer and was looking for something to do. And even today, so it's been, oh my God, 15 years since the book first came out. So now I'm in my 3rd edition. It's called Holy Shit, I'm Having Twins. I can't even advertise it because I have the word shit in the title, which is so stupid, but a whole other topic. And it does really well. Now, does everyone love it? No, they don't. Go check the Amazon reviews. Like, they don't. But 9 out of 10 people or 8 out of 10 people do. Because honestly, if you're going to buy a book that says, holy shit, I'm having twins, and the woman looks scared out of her mind on the front, like, I don't know what you're thinking if you think it's going to be like, okay, everyone sit down and this is going to be wonderful, and there's never going to be a problem. And what you need is to just collect yourself no, like it's the reality of what it really is, which is amazing, by the way. But and it was hard for me for so long to have that confidence to be like, yeah, I've got this book, and it's a humorous, tell it like it is, strategies filled guide to the first year with twins. Plain and simple. That's it. But now I know I'm on the other side of that. It's been 15 years. So I know how well the book is received. And I wish I could go back and tell myself 15 years ago to push it differently, to write it more quickly, to not get caught up in all of the little nuts and bolts of publishing that didn't matter. Some of them do matter. You know how I feel about that. But not to get caught up in the little things that in the end weren't important. They were just opportunities to procrastinate. So that's my message for you today. I want you to ask yourself, what if you knew this thing was going to be a huge success? Air quotes, because it's how you define success. What if you knew it was going to surpass your expectations? Would you be shutting me down right now and going and writing? Right. Like, why is the laptop still open? Like, why are you still watching me, people? Act as if, behave as if, pretend, and go write. I'll talk to you tomorrow.